welcome back to the second part, or third part, of the series of meals under £5. So as you know, yesterday we cooked a whole chicken, and from that I got £1.5 of chicken. I've taken it off the bones. The bones are in a saucepan in the fridge, ready to make soup, which is our fourth meal. So today we're going to do the chicken pot pie. This is one of the easiest things to do ever. It's a great way of using leftover roast chicken, or I often make it when I do soup with chicken thighs. I take the meat off and I make this with it. So I've got £1.5 of chicken, which is going to make our other 3 meals. So, chicken pot pie. So easy. Can of chicken soup. I would normally use the condensed one, but for the sake of continuity, Aldi didn't have the condensed, so I bought their cream of chicken soup. So that goes into the pan, just like that. And to that, we're going to add half a bag, so about 500 grams, or a pound of just frozen mixed veg. If you've got mixed veg in your freezer, I mean obviously I bought this for the purpose of the videos in within 1991. You could use whatever you've got in your freezer. Have you got carrots? Have you got peas? Have you got some frozen sweet corn? It's just a great way of using up the little bits and pieces that you've got left and turning it into another meal. I'm using the AGA60 and I've got the hot plate on boiling. I popped in the can of soup. I'm now going to add in the vegetables. Simple as that. And that, I think I do need that second can of soup. That doesn't look to me as if it's going to make enough of a sauce. So I am going to add the second can of soup. I did buy 2 cans just in case. So I'm adding second can of the cream of chicken soup. And we're just going to let that come up to the boil and then simmer it. Effectively what we're doing is cooking the veg, ready to put in a pie. Now this for us is probably going to make, it's going to make at least 4 portions, at least. Probably this mix will make 8 portions. So we're going to do it as a pie, but this would work equally well if you just popped it over on top of rice with the chicken in it. That would give you a lovely, a bit like a chicken fricassee. That is what we would call it in the UK. So we're just going to leave that to come up to the boil and then to simmer. Okay, so this has now come up to the boil. So it's the half a bag of the mixed veg, 2 cans of soup. I'm going to have some mushrooms left over from making the chicken curry. So what I've done is I've taken half a dozen of them and I've quartered them, and I'm just going to add that in. Just adds another vegetable and it just pads the mix out a little bit. And once again, waste not, want not. If you can use up something that you've got in your fridge before it goes to waste, all the better. And then I'm going to take about 8 ounces of chicken, so about 1/3 of what I've got here. I'm going to slice it up just a bit, make it a bit smaller. More sort of bite-sized chunks, and that's going to go in the mix. we'll just check how much chicken we've actually used by weighing the bowl, because I set the scales to allow for the weight of the bowl, and we had 1 pound 8 ounces of chicken in the bowl. So let's just check how much that is. I think that is actually not too bad a mix. You just check how much chicken we've used. I'm just reaching for my scales. Yeah, we've used about 6 ounces, so I'll put a little bit more in, a little bit more chicken into the mix. There we go. So we've got 8 ounces of chicken, cooked chicken. We've got half a punnet of mushrooms, half a bag of mixed veg, and we have 2 cans of chicken soup. So I'm just going to leave that to simmer, I don't know, for about 20 minutes, and then we will have a look at constructing the pie. So this is how I like the sauce to be for the pie. The veg is cooked, and obviously the chicken was cooked, the mushrooms are now cooked. So I'm going to leave this to cool, and then I'll construct the pie and pop that in the oven. And we're going to serve this with mashed potatoes and the vegetables that we've got left from our 1991 list. So I'm going to pop the lid on this and leave it to cool. Pop down the lid of the AGA60 for now. So there we go. We'll come back when that's cooled and we're ready to pop it in the oven. Okay, so I've blind baked the pastry for the bottom of the pie. Maybe forgot about it because I was peeling potatoes. So now I'm just going to add the mix on top of that. I just want to see how many ladlefuls it takes to fill it. So there we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 1 for luck. Now, as you can see, I've got quite a bit left in here, so that'll make another meal. That I will put, sorry, you can't see, can you? Let me move the pie out of the way. I've got almost half the mixture left. So this will go in a container and in the freezer for another meal. But we'll measure it out into the container to see how many ladlefuls. I know that that pie that I've just put together, I know that for us, this will create 4 portions. So we'll do us tonight, and I may make up some ready meals for Mr. P for work, because he's a lorry driver and he works away all week. Nothing wrong with bought ready meals, absolutely not. I bought them myself in the past, but I do like to do his own ready meals myself, and then I know what's in them and what he's eating. So I'm just going to take this short crust pastry, bob it on the top. This is a ready roll that I bought. I think I tried to unroll it earlier when it was just a little bit too cold. I think when it warms up slightly it rolls out better. So here we go. So I put some on the bottom, and I'm going to just bob a crust on the top. There we go. And there we are. Swizzle it in a little bit. And I'm going to cut an X in the top. I've no idea why you do that, but there we go, I've done it. As you probably realise, I'm no chef. I'm just a home cook. So anything that I show you is how I do it. Might not be the right way, don't know. But this is how I do it. That is going to go into the roasting oven for about 20 minutes. I'm going to pop on the potatoes and the veg and show you what dinner's like when we're ready to serve up. Okay, let's see how much of this we've got left over. Got some takeaway containers. So took 5 ladles for the pie. So we've got 1, 2. I would say that we could get a meal for 2 out of that. You could add it over, that's going to spill. You could add it over pasta, over rice, and so for this particular recipe, it has added up to 6 portions from 8 ounces of chicken. So that, I'll label it chicken pot pie filling. As I say, you could have it with rice, with pasta, or you can make it into a pie, or you can just have it jacket potato, mashed potato and vegetables. It's really, really versatile and a great way of using up a little bit of leftover cooked chicken. So there we have it, chicken pot pie made with leftover chicken turned into another meal for 4 under £5. I'll show you it plated up. We're having mashed potatoes and the vegetables that were left over from yesterday. And there we have it, chicken pot pie, mashed potatoes and vegetables, 4 portions, under £5 from the original shopping list from Aldi. So there we go. We've had a portion each for tea, so that was 2 portions. Then I've got 2 ready meals for the freezer for Mr. P for work. So I've got the chicken pie, vegetables and mashed potatoes. All of those for under £5.